What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. To God be the glory. Today we're going to be playing Crimson Desert with the RX 9060 XT, the 16GB model, and the Ryzen 5 7600X at 6 cores, 12 threads. We've got 32 gigabytes of Lery's DDR5 7200 megatransfers per second, but I got it clocked at 6,000 megatransfers per second with a cache latency of 34. We're on the latest Windows update of 25H2, and we are on the latest Adrenaline driver for the video card as well. I've got an undervolt on the CPU using a curve optimizer in the BIOS with an offset of -15, and I set a temperature limit of 80 degrees Celsius. So yeah, easy day. We are also on the latest update for this game as well, or the latest patch, however you want to actually say that. We're going to be playing this at 2560 by 1440p on a Alienware curved 32-inch 180 Hz HDMI 2.1 monitor. So yeah, easy day. So let's get into these settings here. We've got the cinematic graphic preset. We are playing at 1440p. And as you can see here, no upscaling, no frame gen, contrast ratio I didn't touch. And I set the brightness to 53, which you can see right here. Easy day. All right. So let's jump into this. We'll bring up MSI Afterburner and go over the readings. MSI Afterburner / Rivatuner statistics. All right, let's reset it. All right, we're getting 54 frames per second with a 1% low of 53, an average of 54, and a max of 54. Easy day. We got 3.2 gigahertz on the GPU, 5.4 gigahertz on the CPU, and we're using 39% of the 7600X and the 64C, 75 watts. Full GPU utilization at 56C, 183 watts. We're using 47% of the VRAM at 82C, and we're using 63% of the system memory. I think that's the most I've actually seen being used by any of my systems. So easy day. But look at that frame time graph. Woo, man, that thing's flat. Easy day. And we got our milliseconds of response time is about where it's supposed to be for the frame rate. And you can see we're using the DX12 API. All right, looking at the grass and the flowers here, probably weeds. Right? Don't look too bad. Look in the distance, the trees, they don't look too bad. All right, let's look at the shadows over here. Shadows look pretty good. I'm easily entertained, though. I mean, they do look a little, but they're shadows, though. They look a little jagged, but easy day. You see things kind of clear in the distance. And I don't see any popping or flickering or shimmering yet. Let's walk up on this building and see if we see any. Well, you know, what's that? What was that going across there? Well, you can see a little bit of the shadows. If you look at that barrel there, you can see that is, but that could be from, what is that? See that on the barrel, how it's sort of shaking a little bit? There might be a little bit of shimmer in there, or a little bit of flickering. Or is that being cast from some shadow or something? No? Well, that is a shadow on the other side of the actual barrel there. But yeah, it looks like it's a little bit of shadows, a little bit of shimmering there in the shadows there. Overall, anti-aliasing looks pretty good, though. And his shadow actually looked pretty good. All right, trial after trial, we got to speak with witnesses. We may or may not get any combat in. 1% low is 49 now. And this is with cinematic settings. I could play it like this. But let's see if we see any shimmering or popping once we get close to like an object or something. No, pretty good. 54 frames per second at cinematic settings. Easy day. Yeah, pretty good performance here, YouTube, out of the 9060 XT. It's definitely punching above its weight here. Game looks fantastic at 1440p. So we'll just walk on it up on this building over here again. Now that was kind of weird. That bird just flew like through the building, but easy day. All right, so this is at the cinematic preset. All right. So let's go in here, turn off MSI Afterburner here, and let's try Ultra, the Ultra preset here, and let's go and make sure we didn't turn on VSync or anything else. Looks good. No upscaling. Go back and check this. Ultra, we still got ray tracing still on, easy day. Hit apply. Double check everything, make sure nothing turned off or changed. All right, easy day. All right. Bring back up MSI Afterburner. Reset it. All right, so we've reached that sweet spot of 60 frames per second here. We just dropped there a little bit. Our low is 58, our average is 60, and our max is 61. We're using 63% of the VRAM. I'm sorry, of the system memory, 48% of the VRAM. Still getting full GPU utilization, and we're using 40% of the 7600X. So you can play it with a 9060 XT, with a 7600X and 32 gigabytes of RAM at cinematic or the Ultra preset. But most people are gonna play it high. Shadows look pretty good, flickering off the, not flickering, but shining, or however you casting a shadow on the back of that troll or whatever that is. All right.
The fuck are you doing? There's nothing but bandits that way.
Apologize for that language. Oh, I'm supposed to actually talk to these guys. All right.
What about the cows? Hey,
all right.
Fuck the cows, and don't go saying a word about them to Bremer.
See you later.
Better he lost his cows than his life.
Those
Indeed.
cows are his whole life. Show some sympathy.
I'm just being honest. Cows ain't
A
worth
medieval
getting killed
backpack
over.
that he got on there.
What I'm trying to say is...
Pardon me. You know where the stolen cows are?
Why would you ask us about that? Oh, you reek of cow shit. Fresh off the farm, are you? Ugh, what a stink.
Well, yeah, I know where they are.
He was asking...
Pull out coin, everybody started
Hi.
talking.
I saw them. Follow me. I'll lead you to them. What are you doing?
All right, here we go.
The world sure has been cruel to Bremer.
How
So
so?
simple.
Get out of the way, buddy.
Well, his cows were stolen. And a stone from the sky crushed his own to splinters. Poor sod's story has become the talk of the town. If that Willian boy didn't find Bremer among the rubble... that poor
All
coward
right,
would be
riding the
on
horse
Solomon
here. We're getting
steps
58
right
frames
now.
per second. 1%
Asking
lower,
why
51,
that
average
rock
58,
was
a
sent
max
his way.
of 63. But I did hit
He's
the
quite
pause
a
button, so
devout
let's reset
man.
that.
Despite his hardships, who could have imagined suffering damage from a boulder falling out of the sky?
Knowledge. Got it. All right.
Well, I suppose he should be grateful just to have survived. Still, I know how wretched this has been for Bremer. Those dead cows on the left are his, I reckon. The work of those damned bandits.
All right, if you look in the distance as we're moving here,
The bandits' hideout is just a little further.
I don't see anything
I
popping
saw
in.
them take all of Bremer's cattle with my own eyes. There's a strange smell getting stronger the closer we get.
I've been enjoying the game as well. Still trying to learn the intricacies of the game as well.
There. Just up ahead. This is as far as your
Dead cow.
coin gets you. Good luck.
Who are these guys? They running from something. Find a gray mane. Right, just an auto save there. Some killed this cow, huh? Was I supposed to talk to this guy anymore? No, he leaving. Okay. All right, YouTube, that was with the Ultra preset, and now we're gonna try the high. Turn off MSI Afterburner here. Game settings. Gonna try the high preset here. RT still on, everything at high. Apply that. Make sure nothing changed. Oh, I did turn off the advanced weather effect at high though. Okay, so let's turn that back on. RT still on. Okay. And nothing changed here. No FSR, no VSync. All right. So now we're at high settings with the advanced weather effect on. But let me go back and make sure I didn't miss that earlier when I was at the Ultra preset. Yeah, it left the weather effects on. It turns it off when you go to high. Yeah, okay. So this will be high settings with advanced weather effects on. Again, check this. Make sure we're good. All right. Now let's see what we get. Bring up MSI Afterburner. Reset it. So not much. There's no difference here really between the there's really no difference between the Ultra preset and the high preset here. Anvil Riverside, find a gray mane. Maybe we got to go back down in here or something. Well, now it just came up. It came up to, but I moved a little bit. Now it's at 60. We're getting above 60 frames per second, but there's hardly no difference between setting this to Ultra and setting it to high when it turns off the advanced weather effects. All right, interesting. All right, let's go back into the settings. Turn this off. No. Here we go. Hit the right button there. So I'd probably just play this at Ultra and call it a day. Because, you know, there wasn't much difference between Ultra and high. So now we're back to Ultra. Apply that. Make sure we're good over here. Easy day. Yeah, see, the frame rate is even a little bit higher here. But, you know, the game sort of be everywhere. There we go. Now it's dropping off. It's all based on what's going on. Went down to 56. So I would play at Ultra, the Ultra preset. Because to me, even the foliage looks better here with the ultra preset than it did with the high preset with weather effects on. So easy day. I'm no expert at all this. I just play the game and show you what I'm actually seeing. All right, we about to get a little bit of combat in, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, watch out! I ain't see you. Oh, the bandits kill the cows, huh?
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy every bit of this. Do something,
Uh-oh. Oh, they all over me. At least we get a little bit of combat in, though, at the ultra preset.
Hit me again!
All right, YouTube. Good performance at the cinematic, the ultra, and the high preset here. No problems playing this game with a 9060 XC and a 7600X at 1440p. We're gonna just walk around town here and see how we actually do with NPCs around. I got a bunch of them over here. All right, easy day. So we're still maintaining a good frame rate even with all these NPCs around. So easy day. Like, I didn't notice any shimmering or, you know, any pop in, shimmering slash flickering. We did notice something a little bit weird on the shadow that was on that barrel earlier, which is not doing it here. And definitely didn't notice any stuttering, so. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Don't want to make this too long. Thank you so much for watching. And come back for the next one. Later.